It's today.
Sponsored by number 3.
It's the Sesame Street episode. We're brought to you by the number 3 and the letter Ah. Welcome to the Thoughts on Digital podcast. Ideas and insight about the ever-changing world of digital marketing. How's it going, everybody? My name's Adam Levine, and I realize I've done these for a little while, and I haven't properly introduced myself. I am the Director of Video and Animation Production here at All Things Media, and today I'm sitting down with Angel Delgado. He's the Supervisor of Video and Animation Production, and today we're going to be talking about visual storytelling and sort of, unpacking some of the things that make it, make a video more entertaining and more interesting and just help you connect with your audience, when you have whether a product or a service that you're trying to, to put out there. So how's it going, Angel?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, visual storytelling is, there's obviously the element of framing your subject and making sure that, lighting looks really nice and you know what you're doing with, audio and, visual storytelling is, of course, on the film side, exactly what it sounds like, making sure that your story is told in a compelling way. But in a marketing sense, it goes a little bit deeper than that. Right. A lot of marketing is focused very heavily on the product or service that they're trying to get someone to purchase.
Yeah.
But as a result of that, there's a lot of noise that comes with it. Right now there's so many avenues for marketing to hit somebody. You've got internet, you've got apps, you've got things like Instagram, Facebook. Right. Marketing is coming at you from every angle. And when a marketer just puts something out there that is very clearly just trying to just screams, buy my product, use my service. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes it's either too blunt and obvious, or it's fear-based. You need this. 10. Right. You see that all over the web. 10 things you need, 5 things you need to do. Right. And scare tactics, and you're like, oh, I guess I need this. But
in reality, it's like, do I really need it?
You don't need any of it.
No, not.
And for the most part, people are wising up to that, and so that creates a lot of disconnect from ever finding who your real target audience is. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that we've been talking about is finding an empathetic connection with your audience. So in other words, if you've got a subject in the video, that person has something that's very relatable to your core audience. Mm-hmm. So if your core audience, doesn't make a lot of money and is trying to find like I think there's an app out there right now. It might be, I think it's Robinhood. Sort of like a financial
I've heard about it.
A stock, trading app.
They make it look easy or something like that.
They make it look easy, but if you watch their commercials, right, it's a product that is an app that you can do like, trading on, mm-hmm. right? And that's great, and they're making that easy for people. Well, they could just say, hey, we have this really easy app, you should get it because you can trade real easily.
Right.
All right, well, that's not that compelling in this day and age because mm-hmm. there's so many things and other competitors that do the same type of thing. If you watch some of their commercials, a lot of the marketing that they're doing is they're trying to get very clearly a younger demographic, mm-hmm. and they know that those people don't have a ton of money right now,
right.
but they could. And so when you see those people in that commercial using their product, they're not just sitting around their house just checking their stocks. Mm-hmm. They're working 3 jobs. They're right. on their lunch break, they're checking the stocks. Mm-hmm. Right? So like the person who's watching that is saying, yeah, I get it.
Right.
In between shifts at the restaurant, I could be doing that. Yeah. That's me. And they have like 6 or 7 different scenarios where it's like, okay, you can clearly see that those people are hustling and those people are working their butts off and they're trying to make it. And that's who that's for, because it's not just, well, you already have all this money. Why don't you just easily, click? Because you know what? It works for that person too, but that's not who they're trying to get. They're trying to get the people who don't have a ton of money, but those commercials, you watch them and you feel like, that's me. I can do that.
Right.
I am that person. Mm-hmm. So that's sort of, and that approach is a lot more effective than a scare tactic mm-hmm. or just showing your product.
Right.
So I think that's an interesting way and an interesting shift in marketing that's been happening over the last few years. Have you seen anything similar to that, or?
So in my personal experience, I'm sure you've seen the tasty videos on Facebook and stuff. I saw a couple of them, and the way that they shoot their videos makes it seem like cooking is so easy. And I decided to give it a try one day.
Was it easy? Like when you did it, did you find it to be easy?
Yeah.
But did you find that you were doing something that maybe you wouldn't have done?
For sure.
Maybe you would have gotten a slice of pizza.
Right.
But you were like, that doesn't look that hard to do.
Right.
I can't be so lazy as to not just do those like 5-6 steps. It'll take a half hour and then I'll have like food for a week.
Videos, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's interesting. The tasty videos are an interesting example because they're not, they're not even selling a product, right?
No, they're not.
Are they pairing with like, and buy Crisco, it'll help you. Like, are they pairing with things? I don't know enough about them. I'll be honest.
The ones that I've seen,
they just show.
They just show the ingredients, but not like brand specific.
Right. So that's interesting. That's driving eyeballs to their video and recipes, and I'm not even sure what the business model is there. I'm sure there is one.
I'm pretty sure it's just like ads. Like they get paid for. It's just ad revenue, I guess.
Okay. Let's talk about brands that try to have a bigger purpose, right? So one of the things that is a little more engaging for your audience is if you, as a company, have a mission statement that's a higher purpose than what you're trying to do in terms of just sell, a product. So, like if you're selling, eyeglasses, I think Warby Parker, you buy one, they give one to someone who doesn't, can't afford glasses. Or there's like, socks. There's a company out there that like donates a pair for every pair that they get.
Or like Tom's.
Tom's, like the shoes, right. So that sort of cause marketing that seems to be connecting a lot more these days with, I guess a lot of people, specifically younger demographics. Have you found anything like that to, inspire you to buy something?
Yeah, just like Tom's.
Yeah.
There's another brand, I forgot the name, but their whole thing is you buy a pair of shoes and part of that money goes donated to like animal shelters.
Oh, okay,
like
nice.
Dogs and cats.
Nice. Maybe you would have gone with somebody else, but if you're passionate about a cause, you might as well give that money basically to charity.
Right.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's an interesting and really great thing that's come out of trying to have these deeper connections with your customers because it benefits everybody when you have something like that, right? It's not just about making money for your company. It's about doing better for the people in the around you or your community. I think that is a really nice side effect of trying to connect with customers on a deeper level. And just on the other side of things is if you're trying to do something like that, but very clearly aren't following through on something, or you're merely suggesting that you're going to do something, but it's sort of like a gray area. People will sniff that out immediately,
right?
And see through that. And because people want to, they want an honest conversation, right? So they want to know that whoever's talking to them isn't bullshitting them.
Right.
It's important that whatever you're putting out there is something that you believe in.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's what audiences will connect with a lot more these days, instead of just look at my product, look at my, what I do. At the end of the day, you want to make sure that if you're able to connect with your audience and do something for them beyond just whatever the purchase is, you're going to have a customer for life,
Right.
Just the same as good customer service will keep someone coming back. Being genuine, being honest with your customers is going to create a connection that can last for as long as you're in business.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important takeaway is, be open and honest and transparent, show vulnerability as a company if you need to. Even things like large stores like Walmart, right? They're a huge company, and yet their Instagram page consistently features employees from the stores.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic, and it's just like little like fun call outs to the different people who work there.
That's cool.
I mean, yes, they do have buy this thing, buy that thing,
right.
But it's Walmart, so you understand that's what they're trying to do in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also, they're putting a face to their brand, and they're saying, okay, buy this thing because you're gonna need it, and you might as well because Susan works here, and Susan's awesome. And when you see something like that, it just makes you feel good because there's a person there. Gone are the days where a faceless blind corporation is acceptable in any form. I mean, you go anywhere and you just see the most successful companies out there right now are making sure that they are human,
right, yeah.
and have a face to them.
Yeah.
So, open, honest, transparent, approaches to talking to customers. I think that's really the way that you can connect better with anybody, especially a customer.
Yeah, and sometimes business owners should, because I know they can get lost in like their product and just look at it from their perspective and not look at it from the customer's perspective.
Right. Sometimes when you're so focused and you're looking at it from your own perspective, you lose sight of what the customer really needs.
Right, exactly.
So another thing that a lot of companies are able to do, even ahead of the marketing effort, is collecting that information, not even blindly, but collecting that information by going out and talking to your customers. Get on the street, get out there. If you're, if you're, let's say, a large automotive company, like we've worked with, large automotive companies here, and we've done research where we're out there in the field talking to the different dealers and saying, here's what we've made for you in the past. We've worked with the company, we've made these things.
Yeah.
What works and what doesn't. We're doing this kind of blind to start because we have to do something.
Right.
But now that it's out there and it's working and it's in practice, we've done that where we get feedback directly from them and say, all right, well, what works, what doesn't work? Why do you want this? How can we help you? And then from that, we're able to make a better product the next time.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Ideas always go further when they're shared. If you enjoyed the show, leave us a review on iTunes or drop us a comment on YouTube. Let us know what you think about today's topic. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next week.